the pro with the man with the biggest arms in West Linn, Oregon. The man who's never lost a round. He's undefeated. He's Chael Sonnen in the flesh. How we doing, my man?
A free man. Can you believe it? How are you, Schmo? How's everything?
We can't complain. It's our first time ever in West Linn, Oregon, so of course we had to pay tribute to the mayor of this city.
I appreciate you being here. I really do. And I know you're in town for a swimming competition for Miss Helen. I hope she wins first place.
Nothing but the best for her. But talk to the Schmo for a second, man. There's a lot to chat with you about, but one thing in particular, you saw the footage. John Bones Jones and Izzy Adesanya, they're friends now. A little playful sparring. What do you make of the situation?
Yeah, it's so disappointing, man. When two guys can't carry a grudge, it's so disappointing. But the other side of it, if you're going to work together, and you're in the same industry, and you're never going to fight, and they aren't. I mean, they couldn't make that fight happen back when they could be the same weight class. Now they're separated by 2. I don't blame them for wanting to get along, but I don't know how those things happen. Like, I don't know how you come up and you start touching a guy and you start playing around after all those things you say and know that it's going to remain playful. I mean, it did. They both were house trained, but man, that could have gotten bad fast, in my opinion. That could have gone the other way.
Well, something that went bad pretty fast was inside the octagon UFC 290 when Dricus Du Plessis, he put away Robert Whittaker. You saw the champion go inside the cage, Israel Adesanya. When was the last time you saw the champion go inside the cage against the challenger? It's usually the other way around, Chael.
Yes, but it's fascinating, man. Israel Adesanya is rich. He has made it. They're talking about putting him on the cover of the video game. This guy is world famous. And he stayed a man of the people. I mean, he went in the ring, a rich man, a rich champion, went face-to-face against a poor challenger. And the rich champion came out looking like the hero. It's almost impossible to do. Oh, by the way, he used some language that you simply can't say. He still looked like the man of the people. I mean, Israel Adesanya, from a character standpoint, from an entertainment standpoint, I've never seen anything like it. I loved that UFC. I thought it was great. I didn't overly look forward to it in terms of anticipation. When it was going on and it was done, I go, wow, that was great, and I loved it. And you know what? That show and that entertainment and my feelings and emotions towards it are not the same had Izzy not been there and he didn't even fight. That's how important he is to this organization, in my opinion.
Is he the biggest star in the UFC that's active right now?
Oh, yes. Oh, 100%. Nobody can touch him. He is playing a different game, but he is elected to play that game. He is coming after Conor McGregor's spot. And I'm only telling you that because Conor's one of 5 guys that even knows that there's a game being played here. Conor's one of 5 guys that knows you can be the boss even after the loss. You can still be the top draw. You can still be a main event, but there's a way to manage your career so that the outcome doesn't matter. And there's nobody else that even understands that. And, well, now Izzy does. And Izzy's coming for him. He's not there yet. Red Panty Night is still real, but, yeah, it could be a different colored panty night in a minute here.
All right, moving on. Alexander Volkanovski, and still, he's now the #1 pound-for-pound ranked fighter in the world. Do you agree with those sentiments? He went over an Islam Makhachev, and he went over a John Bones Jones.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and it's surprising. I mean, it really is stunning how good he is. You think about sports that I'm a coach. You think about sports that you would go and recruit from, and you would never, I don't think of recruiting off the rugby team. Sure, there's some rough guys and they're tough, but it's not the same level of fitness. It's just a different deal, you know. And I only bring that because, you know, you got Volkanovski moved to #1, and Jack is moving up in the rankings. You know, Jack lost his first 2 fights and he's never lost since, and now here's in the UFC saving the day this weekend. And yes, Volk is #1. Volk played the dumbest thing Volk could possibly do against Yair Rodriguez was to let Yair have the distance and then start making it a kick game. You're making a kick game because you're too far to punch or grapple with him. Volk did that 3 different times in the fight, and he still won the fight. He did things wrong. He made mistakes, and he still dominated Rodriguez. Come on, saying a lot.
From one undefeated fighter, let's get your opinion on 2 undefeated fighters in the middleweight division. Bo Nickal and Khamzat Chimaev. You got Bo Nickal on the mic calling for Khamzat Chimaev. Khamzat Chimaev linked to a fight with Usman. Hasn't happened yet. What are we waiting for, Chael? Should we just make that fight happen already or what?
Absolutely. I mean, it is so glaringly obvious. And if you're in Bo Nickal's spot, I mean, in fairness, if you want to force these things through, good for you. And I would like that. That would be how I would advise you. You don't know that you're going to feel good in a year. You don't know that you're going to be here in a year. There's a lot of things that happen really, really fast. I've seen some guys who have a higher trajectory even than Bo, who've been standing in the practice room and some other group comes over and falls into him, blows the guy's knee out, and his career is over. I mean, that happens all the time. And I only remind you of that because there isn't time. There isn't urgency, and you got to have it. You got to win the matches you can win when you can win them, including if that's right now. And Yes, I wish that they'd make the match. I don't know why they're staying apart. At one point they were calling for each other, and now they've decided to be friends. And there is an argument. I mean, it pays the same for Bo. He goes off the biggest favorite in the company's history, literally. But it didn't make him any less eligible for a fight of the night bonus. It didn't pay him any more or any less. So there would be a motivation. I mean, if they're going to continue to bring guys that the odds makers believe have no chance against you for the same money that Chimaev is going to bring you, there's an argument to wait. I don't like the argument, but I understand it.
With the expectations he set already, if he does not come away with a world title in this organization, is Bo Nickal's MMA career a disappointment? Definitely,
yes. Bo Nickal must be world champion. If Bo Nickal gets defeated, it will be a blow. Yeah, and I'm speaking just from the wrestling community, but as a member of that community, we are expecting a lot from Bo, and we're expecting him to clean house.
Any shot you give Francis Ngannou to shock the world and knock out Tyson Fury, get the victory over there in Saudi Arabia, October 28th?
It's the most ridiculous sporting competition of our lifetimes. Let me give you an example. Take the Lakers, and the real Lakers, right back when they had the guy named Shaq and Kobe Bryant, rest his soul. I don't know if LeBron was ever on that team, but remember when they were really good, and you got Phil Jackson as a coach. Take them and go put them against Brady and the Patriots, right? You got these great teams, but you're going to go do it under football rules. Do you see how stupid it is? Do you see why it's never happened? Do you see why it's never even been discussed? Because that's what's happening here. This is literally the most ridiculous sporting event of my lifetime. However, I will tell you this. It is more likely for Francis to beat Fury than it is for Francis, with zero experience, at least 37 years of age, with very little contacts and a bum knee over in Las Vegas, to get the fight with Fury. He's already done the hard part. He already did the part that is more unlikely. So, sure, he can beat him. Why not?
Nate Diaz.
What kind of a scumbag is Fury, though? Man, I mean, I really got to tell you, Fury broke my heart. I've liked this guy, and I like the entertainment. I like so many things about him. I am a monster, Schmo. I didn't have to pay for this meal. I don't have to do anything if I don't want to. There's a line of people. I don't have to wait in line if I don't want to. I choose to. I'm a man of the people. I'm behaved. I don't have to be. You take a guy like Fury, who God made huge, gave great coaches, great training partners, great experiences to. He has weapons and tools that other men can't deal with if they're not armed. And he's going to choose to use those to beat up a guy who's at least 37 with no experience and is on one leg. That's a bully, and it's a scumbag. I would never do that to somebody.
Well, he's going to make a lot of money, a lot of shmoney for Francis.
No, I'm sure. And Jesse James made a lot of money, and there's hitmen that made a lot of money. I mean, there's things that you can do, but own it. You're a bully, and you're a scumbag.
Nate Diaz versus Jake Paul. If Nate Diaz beats Jake Paul, where the hell do we go from there if you're Jake Paul?
Yeah, it's an interesting one. It's a really interesting one that I've never missed a Jake Paul fight or a Nate Diaz fight, and I don't have the foggiest idea when those two are getting in the ring. I know it's coming up,
August 5th, Dallas, Texas.
Yeah, and I mean it's the promotional miss of 2023. I'll tell you that.
What do you mean by that?
Well, I did not know the date of the fight until you just said it. I don't agree with you. I don't know if you're teasing or I can't back it up. I can't confirm it. I don't hear anything about it. I caught a couple of footages on social media just in the last week of Nate Diaz sparring. He was going with some pros. I love watching. I love watching the gym footage. Caught a great piece of Jake Paul. Jake Paul was sitting on a chair and he'd pop up, bam, bam, bam. He'd go to the bag like it was the body. He'd sit back down in the chair. I mean, I watch these things. I love these things. Neither one of those things told me where to watch it, how to watch it, or when to watch it. So, I mean, come on. There's things you got to do in promoting. Promoting is telling a story. To tell a story, you have 5 W's and nothing else. You have who, what, when, why, and where. That's how you tell a story. From sitting in the chair and popping up and hitting the bag to having the footage of Nate in the ring with a professional boxer. This is great stuff that didn't include a single one of the W's. That's a miss on promotion, and that's what I mean.
Are they fighting for the Conor McGregor sweepstakes? Nate Diaz wins. He gets the trilogy with Conor McGregor. Jake Paul wins, he gets an opportunity to fight Conor McGregor one day. What do you think, Chael?
Yeah, you can do whatever you want. I mean, you guys have been told from the beginning of time there's exclusive contracts, and if you're with this company, you can't go fight in this company. None of that's true. There is no such thing as an exclusive contract. You can fight anyone you want, anytime that you want.
Do you think Paddy the Baddy's next opponent's an active fighter in the UFC, or we go outside of the box and maybe it's a Logan Paul?
That's very interesting. I hadn't thought of anything like that for Paddy. I miss Paddy. I wish that Paddy would come back. I thought that was fun. I thought that the Paddy reign was a good time. I know that he went to have like a surgery on his knee. We should have updates. We should have constant updates. There should be promotion. There should be constant promotion. You know, he got a little too close to the trees to see the forest here, and he marked out for his own gimmick. He hasn't done a very good job of promotion either lately.
In the post-fight press conference, UFC 290, the Schmo asked Dana White, Leon Edwards, Colby Covington, 2 locations, Abu Dhabi, Madison Square Garden. We confirmed it's one of those 2. If you're a betting man, where do you think it's going to be?
Oh my, now isn't that interesting? Wow. Taking it to the Garden when you've already got John Jones on top of the bill, I don't know if you need to do that. With that said, as good as John is at fighting, he's equally as bad at drawing. I mean, John Jones fights in buildings with a lot of fans dressed up as empty seats, so you might need to pad that card a little bit. The other side of it is, if we're going to put Chimaev in a co-main spot in Abu Dhabi and you're going to do it with Jared Cannonier, you're going to need to pad that card a little bit. And looking like you're going to miss out on Islam or just find somebody that can fog a mirror to take on Islam, I'd say that's the card that needs the most help. I will predict Colby and Edwards go to Abu Dhabi.
And can we get a final message for all the Chael Sonnen fans out there worldwide?
I would tell you, if you chose Uncle Chael, if that's who you're riding along with, I know there's some good things and there's some bad things that go about it, but you really have great decision making. You made the right choice.
Superstars only. He's the pro. I'm the Schmo. West Linn, Oregon. Look at those arms. We're out.